Howdy, Possum Patty here. Let me take off my coat. I am just back from an afternoon, a delightful afternoon, visiting with my grand fur baby, Penny. Yes, she's adorable, little black ball of fluff. Yes. Well, I spent the afternoon working on some cross stitching while she kept me company and played with my threads and chewed on my bag. Yes, she was quite happy to have me there and working on a project. She usually likes when I bring some yarn, though. She really loves to play with the yarn. But I was cross-stitching today. So I thought I would do a fabric and fiber update and an unboxing. I know, you're not going to believe what I got, right? And this is from Art Create Love. Yes, and it's going to be beautiful. I can't start it yet because I'm going to finish the project I'm working on, but I wanted to show you this, yes. And you'll get updated on it later, right? After I finish working on my dragon. Well, this was my very, very first cross-stitch project, yes. And it is a dragon for the year of the dragon. And as you can see, I have been working on it, yes. I take it with me in the car and I work on it in the car. I know. I know. You have to train yourself to do that, but that's what I do. And I got almost the whole center section finished right there. And then I started across the top, and well, I discovered riding in the car, going over bumps, and helping Mr. Possum with directions, it's a lot easier to do the background, right? So I started working on the background recently. So I think I'll continue the background down a ways, and then I'll finish off the top and then work my way down across the bottom. This came as a beginner's cross-stitch kit. And I don't know why they called it a beginner's because it's quite complicated. It's all the same stitch. Well, maybe because it's all just cross-stitching and there's no counting, it's got all the colors and everything, that, it's not that hard to do. It's just a lot to do for your first project, yes. And I made the big mistake of starting in the middle on the face, which I think was one of the hardest places to start. I should have started over here when it was just plain until I got into the rhythm of doing all those cross stitches, yes. But it's my first one, so, and I'm not being very precious with it because I know it's going to be a journal cover. So this will be the journal cover for the Year of the Dragon. And I am working on it, and I will finish it. Mr. Possum doesn't think I'm going to finish this, but I'm bound and determined to finish this. And I will, eventually, yes. Well, didn't the company, Art Create Love, reach out to me and ask me if I'd like to review one of their products? So I went to the website. Beautiful website, beautiful products, all cross-stitching. I was like, oh my goodness. I'm only on my very first cross-stitch and it's a doozy, right? It's going to take me a while to complete that. So I'm thinking, well, I can line up another project and put it away. I will not start this project, no, until that one is done. Cross my heart. I know I've got projects going everywhere, doing a little diamond painting, doing a little cross stitching. Well, of course, there's my journaling. I do have some fiber things and a little slow stitching that I'm working on. But, that's just me because I don't like to do the same thing every day. Sometimes I'm in the mood for one thing and sometimes for the other. So I do like to change it up, especially if you're going to do it every day, right? So I'm looking on their website and I'm looking at, there's some gorgeous cross stitching. And I'm like, I don't know. What should I pick? And do I really want to start another project? And the only thing they had under crafts were pillow covers, make covers for nice little pillows. I said, well, those are nice. They have all the accessories for cross stitching and embroidery. Yes, you know, all the needles and needle holders and wax for the thread and clamps for the cross stitching. They have everything, all the supplies, beautiful array of cross stitching projects, big ones and little ones, all kinds. Oh, and they have beaded embroidery too. Yes, they have beaded embroidery. But you know, I already have a beaded embroidery project that I need to work on. So I'm just scrolling through. I said, well, maybe I will, maybe I won't. And then I saw this one cross stitch and I was like, oh, I love it. It's a Chinese brush painting of wisteria. And wisteria reminds me of my grandmother because she loved wisteria. And in her bedroom, she actually painted on the wall, she was an artist, a wisteria bush that went up one corner and went around, you know, you would put like a wallpaper border around the top of your wall near the ceiling. Well, she painted the wisteria bush with the purple wisteria flowers hanging down all around the room, and it was gorgeous. I'll never forget that as long as I live. So I saw that, and I was like, okay, I'll do it. I'll review one of your projects. Yes, Art Create Love. I will review one of your projects if you send me that beautiful wisteria Chinese brush painting cross stitch. So, guess what I got? Another cross stitch. I know. And this one is large too. But it's gorgeous. It's large, but I don't think the whole thing is cross stitch. It just has a design on it. But we're going to open it up and check it out. And then I'm going to talk about a couple of these other things I'm working on. So come on along. Okay, let's see what we have. Oh, it comes in a really nice plastic case to keep everything in. Ooh, I like that. We'll give that one bonus point there. Let me pull everything out because I know this is going to be a little reflective. I'll be sure to put everything back. So here's the floss, and they have it organized on a card with the numbers. And there's 2 needles in a little bag here. Numbers on the back. There's 39 different ones. After I finish my dragon, after I finish this one, and maybe do a little beaded embroidery, what I might want to work on is one with silk threads. Have you done any with silk threads? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to try one with the silks to see how that differs from the cotton. So this one is cotton. All the colors laid out there. And let's see, we've got instructions. Here's the picture. Isn't that gorgeous? I love it. I love it. I love it. And this is by Spring. I think that's the brand. All right, so they have it broken down into sections here. And there are numbers and letters, capital letters and lowercase letters. And then down here, it tells you how that relates to the numbers of the embroidery floss. And then instructions for pre-printed fabric cross stitch. Feel free to find a number or symbol on the pre-printed fabric and choose the corresponding thread to begin the first stitch. Love that. And then it tells you about how to find the numbers. Notes, the floss in this kit is 6-strand cotton floss. Fold the floss or use about 50 centimeters of the length of each floss to prevent the thread from knotting, twining, wearing rough while stitching. Oh, I didn't know that. You know, I was having that problem with the dragon one. I found that when I got halfway through, you know, it just started to get all fuzzy and worn. That is a really good tip. Yes, I'm going to try this because today I was really noting that because I was doing that big block, of solid color and using that same thread all the way through. Yes. That's what was happening. I learn something new every day. Thank you, Art Create Love. Okay, and they give you a little bit more instructions here. Please stitch in the same direction. That I figured out. Do not pull the thread tautly. Oh, see, now here's something else. When I first started the dragon in the face, I think I was pulling that thread too hard. Yeah, so the middle of the face is like a little crumpled or stretched or something. Keep the tension even. I've learned that since, but this would have been helpful when I started the other one. Get a little bit tighter than its nature. Tension is better. Knots are not in use for this kit. Leave about 1 centimeter allowance at the end of each thread when start or end each thread and make the end of each thread secure on the fabric. Do not make the floss ends twisted. Back stitches in use. I don't know what that means. I have knots all over the back of my dragon, and I know that's not correct either. I'm going to have to learn how to do that. Yeah, no knots. Okay. I'm going to try that on the dragon. I'll practice on the dragon one. Following these different tips. Oh, see, I'm happy I took this out and read it because now this is going to help me finish the other one. So by the time I get to this one, I might even know what I'm doing. So let's take a look at it. It's going to be big. I might have to hold this up in front of the other camera. Okay. So, well, this looks just like on the instruction sheet. This has colors and symbols and numbers. Numbers, colors, and symbols were on the instruction sheet. All right. So, see, now this is different. See, here it has a color and a number, and here it has a letter. So that says 15, and this is a light green with a lowercase t. So if we go down here to 15, it says P524. I don't know what that means. But if you go to here to lowercase t, it says 15, P524. Okay, so that matches up. So even though it is different symbols and colors and numbers and letters, it doesn't match up. So you definitely need to look at this chart. Now I'm thinking this whole white background, you don't put anything then? Because there's no white thread. Well, there's a little bit of white thread. I don't think you put anything in the background. Then I think you wash this and those blue lines go away. I think that's how it works. So this one, even though it's bigger, should go faster because I'm not doing all this other space in here. Got a chop on there too. This artist signature. Oh, there's some special instructions down here. I don't know what they say. 1 strand, looks like 6 strands. Looks like you divide it 3 strands. Those are instructions, but I don't know. This is different here. Oh, well, we'll work this out. Yes, we will. We'll work this out. I do love it. I love the picture. I already love the instructions. This has helped me out a little bit. And I'm going to practice on the other one. Now, what am I going to do with this after I finish it? Do I have any wall space anywhere? My walls are pretty full. I don't know. What am I going to do with this? Well, I can't make that a journal. That's a really big journal. I could cut it. Oh, I could. Oh, I just said that. And let's see. I could make it a really big journal, right? And have the cross stitch on the inside and the outside, like this. Of course, this is all not going to be there because that's just instructions, so it would only be about that big. Okay. So it would be about, I'm just worried that it's white. And my journals get a lot of use. Let's see. So it would wind up like 10.5 by, 11. So just say 10.5 by 10.5, which is not too crazy. I could make it a little smaller. So maybe bring it down to about 10 by 10, 10 inches by 10 inches. And I'd have the embroidery on the inside and outside. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the dragon one goes. I will definitely enjoy doing this and turning it into something. 2 quick updates. Remember that scarf that Mr. Possum gave me? Yes. I took it all apart. So when I took it apart, I found it was made with 5 different pieces of yarn knotted together. I didn't roll them up together. I rolled them up separately because I'm not sure what I'm going to do. And then I took a piece with this double strand like this. And I was thinking, oh, I can make a nice fluffy rope out of this. And I pulled it apart because I went around and around and I did about that much of the stitching and I pulled it through and it looked pretty good, but it was very tight. It was very tight. I was really stuffing this hole. Yes, it was a little hard to pull through and it was getting tighter and tighter. So I pulled it all apart. I should have saved it to show you. And I think what I'm going to do, Mr. Possum was sitting there. He says, why don't you just take that apart? Take that apart and do half at a time. I said, well, yeah, that's on my mind. I'm thinking that too. So I might have to, let's see, does this come apart? Can you take this apart? It's almost like fuzzed. The fuzz is almost keeping it together. Oh, there we go. So I don't know. Can I do that? Can I pull this apart like embroidery floss and try using half of this at a time? I really don't want to waste all this yarn. So I might try that. While we're watching TV, I might have to try pulling a section of this apart. All right, so yeah, then we'll try that on here and see what that looks like. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it's just an experiment. All right, and let's see, one more thing, my knitting Nancy, or French, what do they call that, French knitter. All right, so yeah, I made some progress on that. And then remember when I was doing my breast cancer awareness Get Your Mammogram journal page, I was using that pink pouch that I got at Radiology that had the breast cancer awareness on it, and I saved the back of the pouch. And then somebody, one of my awesome Possum peeps down below in the comments said something, Possum Patty, didn't you get some breast cancer awareness fabric at the Dollar Tree? And I'm like, yes, I did. And here it is. This is my breast cancer awareness fabric with the pink ribbons. And then it's got some leaves that match and roses. And these are in the shape of that pink ribbon, right? Leaves and roses. And then this one says, beautiful, brave, strong, the heart. And we just have some pink flowers and some pink check Okay, now I'm thinking I would like to make just a small fabric journal. I can use these as pages and maybe a little bit of this pink canvas as the cover of the journal. So it would be small, it would be about that big, however much I can get out of this, because I used the other half, right? Like that. And then make the pages out of this. And then I'm not quite sure what I would put in it. Maybe just positive words, like this beautiful, brave, strong. Just maybe positive messages. Yes, something like that. I think that would be nice. Maybe then I can even give it away to somebody, right? Oh, and somebody was talking about the zipper, how I should take the zipper off and use that for something too. We'll see. We'll see. So that's my idea, update on the breast cancer awareness journaling, leftover fabric and canvas. And then the other thing that I was working on was my sketch and stitch journal. And I made this from a Vera Bradley pocketbook, this little journal. And I filled it with these felt, because I got a whole bunch of felt at the Dollar Tree. And I just sketched with some pens on there, some fabric pens and things. And then did some stitching on top. And I did the ferns. And I'm working on this mushroom, doing a bunch of French knots. And I didn't make any more progress on this. Yes, because, I was working on this in the car, and I stopped doing this in the car because I wanted to finish the dragon. So I've been taking the dragon with me everywhere. But I will get back to this, doing some sketching and then sewing on my sketches. Oh, and I was watching Lizzie Brewer, and she's making a little, 4-season booklets with wool, and they are adorable. Oh, I love them so much. And now I'm thinking, ooh, I have a whole bunch more of felt. I can use little pieces of felt the way she's using little pieces of wool. And she just made the cutest things in that journal, yeah. So this might not be all sketches when I'm done. No, I might be inspired by Lizzie Brewer. I know. Always lots going on here at Soggy Bottom. Never a dull moment. No, never a dull moment. Well, no project ever gets abandoned. No, it might get put aside for a short time so I can work on something else. But I always circle back to everything. Everything does get finished, yes. Well, the Knitting Nancy will get put aside until I somehow separate the yarn. See if that works. If that doesn't work, then I'll use this for something else. That's a good watching TV project, right? And the breast cancer awareness kit, well, this will be put aside for now. But one morning Possum Patty will wake up and say, I feel like making a new journal today. And this will be ready to go, yes. And I might add a few more things in here too. And the sketch and stitch, well, this is definitely being put aside for right now because I'm working on the dragon in the car. And yes, I will finish this, no problem. That will get done. And this will be put aside, but I'll work on this. Yes, I'm looking forward to this wisteria. And I'll link all of the Art Create Love information in the description box below. Yes. So in case you want to check out their website. Yeah. Thank you, Art Create Love, for sending this to me. And for those instructions, yes, I'm going to use those instructions right away. I'm going to practice on the dragon one. That's my first cross stitch. So I'll do some more practicing about not making knots. Yes, not making knots. And using a shorter thread. I was wondering what was happening to the thread. Yes, well, learn something new every day. Yes, I love learning and I love creating. So thanks for coming along today and happy creating. Bye-bye.